my elbow on the floor. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch my leg just a little bit on that back leg. Okay? Like this. So come back. And what I'm going to do is this is the concept. You see my head? I have to make it in the same line as her knee. The reason being is if I go on my side hip a little bit, she'll take out my De La Riva. So if I go up like this, take out my hook. My foot is very weak, you see? Because the angle of my hip, if I go up like this, it's altered, so I'll take out my hook. No, my hook.
Oh.
Right? So now I'm going to ask you to take out my hook. You see? Square up with me, please. And your foot, oh, yes, like this. Now take out my hook. She can't because my head is in the same line as her knee. Every time my head is in the wrong line of her knee, take out my hook. And you'll feel when you sit up, my foot is very weak because I'm not aligned with her knee. So how I have to be when I sit up for De La Riva is if I had a single leg on, I could go right like this. I personally do this a lot. But I understand it could be harder for people that aren't as flexible. So what I want you to do is, all you're going to do is take this foot on the ASI, so you're just going to push your hip back, just a little bit. That's going to help you set up like a step. Here. Now take out my hook. As long as my head is aligned.
What are you doing with your hand?
I'm posting my elbow on the floor, like this. You see? So I'm using my elbow on the floor to sit up to grab the belt. So when I'm here, I use my elbow to sit up. I use my elbow, I use my head on her knee, and I sit up like this. You see? And now I'm like this. If it's too hard for me, I'm going to stretch her back leg to move her body back. And that's going to help me sit up. Grab the belt. So stretch me. You see? That is why it's important your foot remains on the ASIS when you're here. So now when she stretches me, see, I can't remove that leg. I can't step over. So now it's safe for her to sit up. Okay? So again. I'm here. She's here. She's in the deadlift base. She's postured. So I'm just going to leave my foot on the ASIS here. Okay? Another way I could do it is putting my foot on top of her hip like this. This is totally fine as well because now I can start using my hip as well. And now step over my leg. This, yeah. It's hard, right? But now she just literally gave me the back like this. Step over my leg here. So back your hip up and step up. Yes. You see? When I do this, step over my hip. When I do this, step over my hip. Both she can't because why? When I put the heel of my foot on top of her hip like this, it's also on the ASIS. I gotta take your arms off my body. Every time my opponent postures and they put all their weight on their legs, I'm going to give you a concept of pushing her hip with my fist. You see? So every time she postures, I punch her hip. Every time she brings her shoulders down, I pull her hips. You see? So what am I doing? Every time she holds my legs with her arms, I'm putting her weight on her hips more because now she's using her arms again. So it's like the concept of if I was playing with the collar and they use their arms, I put her weight forward on her arms, right? And then I move her in directions and making her arms heavy, right? So when she's holding my legs, tell me what you feel when you do this. So hold my legs and start pushing down my legs. Bring your shoulders down.
Oh, down?
Yeah, look. What's happening to your arms when they do this?
I feel like they're going this way.
Wait, but posture your arms, yeah, here. Could you stay postured when I do this?
No.
You see, because every time she does this, I hang to bend her butt. Because every time I can bend her butt, I can move my body around her. So when she postures up, and she takes her arms off of me, posture up, I punch her hip. Because I want to move her leg back. And whenever I'm hanging, I'm trying to bend her knee. Here, because every time I can bend her knee, I can move her body more, you see. So that's a very important concept you have to realize in De La Riva, that every time I can bend her knee, I can angle her foot this way.
Did you show exactly how you're like pulling me? Because it looks like there's a lot of mechanisms in it.
So when I'm here and I sit up and I'm hanging, I'm pulling this hip down. I'm straightening my arm. That's very important. I'm never doing this.
Okay.
So I want you to think of it as like you're hanging, like look how my hand is hanging. I'm keeping my arm straight and I'm pulling back down like this.
Is your arm straight here?
Completely straight.
So it's like this.
That's very important. I never bend my arm when I'm here. I never like this. I'm always keeping my arm straight here. And as my arm is straight, now I can pull and I can push.
What are your other arms
My other arm is staying on the mat with my elbow. So I'm staying on this elbow grip. For now, we're staying with the elbow. But in later series, this leg is going to be straightening my leg also. So I'm hanging with 3 things straightened. My back leg, my front arm.
What are you doing with this one? Straightening?
This one, I'm just keeping pressure on my hook. And I don't even care about this foot, honestly.
Okay.
I'm actually going to show that after, how I even can put my foot down on the floor. Because you see, look how your knee's bending already. But look, open your knee, go back to normal, like turn your toes, yeah. So I don't even care about this hook. It's more just me playing guard with my fist hanging and my leg like this. This is how I'm playing MikeyDLRDeadlift right now. And this foot is just extra icing on the cake, right? Because I can bend the knee, I can stretch the leg, I can use it like this, and I'm just putting pressure on this leg forward, you see? Now once I get here, guys, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to hang, I'm going to put pressure on her hip, and now look what I can do. I can go like this. I go 1, I can angle my foot to go to the side. That's one option. Another option, when I'm here, square up with me again. When I'm going here and I start angling to the side, you're going to square with me, right? And now look how I can go around her again. And she can fall, come back up. So if you watch the previous MikeyDLRDeadlift things, every time I get around her, to follow me, if her foot is the other way, she falls. So this is the exact concept as before, right? So if I get her foot down here, if I get her foot to this way, and I go around her and she follows me, now she falls. Because her foot is the other way, so I manipulated her spine, right? If she does like strong. So now I move, no.
Sorry.
So I'm here. I'm in MikeyDLRDeadlift. Foot's here, you get the MikeyDLRDeadlift. Sit up, I control the butt, right in front of me. Now I'm in the spot here. Once I get here, I start hanging and stretching my legs, putting pressure and tension on her body. If she pushes out my hook, here, all I do is this, all the rules we learned before. Look how I can put pressure on her and drop my foot. You see? So what am I doing? I move my foot down to her leg. I put my foot to the floor and I stretch her leg. Why am I doing it? Stay there. Stay there, please.
Oh.
Put your hand on the floor. Every time her weight's on this side, this leg is light. This leg is light to move. Just put your weight on this side.
Oh, sorry.
Then her leg is light to move. So when I'm here, and I'm here, and I stretch her here. Now all her weight's there. Look how easy it is for me to move her foot. So put your foot back, please. Every time you see her, I can take her knee off the floor and put her foot here. Now I can step on the floor and go around her. Controlling the leg and taking it back. See? Controlling her body. If you can tie your belt, please. It's not enough. I have the 2 options of it. She keeps her foot square with me. Every time I start sweeping her like this, like square up again. Look what happened to her foot. Now her foot's the other side of my butt. So now because her foot's the other side of her butt, she's facing the other way. Now, keep your weight on your toes now in posture. So every time she's here, look. Now her weight's on her toes, right? So now I'm going to hang. Keep your weight on your toes. Now your weight's on your knee, posture. I push, I push. Now because her leg is pushed, look how I can get my body around it. So one of them, I'm moving around her toe. The other one, I'm moving her knee. Do you see the difference?